Here we go, folks. On Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. It's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John.
All right, we have a special guest. We have Jim, one of our fervent listeners.
Is he a friend of the show?
Yeah, he's an FOS, friend of the show.
All right.
He's kind of a... Jim, if I were to call you a neutral person, would that be... that would probably be pretty accurate, don't you think?
I think I'm fairly libertarian, but neutral, I guess, okay.
All right, well, because I was looking for a nice segue into the whole net neutrality thing.
I wasn't going to let you have it.
I know, thanks for that. I could call you a net person, but that didn't make much sense. So, all right, so let's go back a little bit, because Doug was asking me...
I don't even know what it is.
He wasn't quite exactly sure what happened. Can you break that down for us? You can tell us that story, can't you?
Yeah, well, basically, about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, a combination of ISPs, your internet service providers, along with Hollywood studios and record production companies, decided they wanted to control flow of the internet. In the case of the movie theater, movie companies and the record companies, it was because fighting piracy by going after the people that were actually pirating costs a lot of money, and they thought, well, if we just slow down the internet, we will be able to stop it without having to spend money to go to China and other places and go after the pirates. And then the big ISPs, your cable companies, your Verizons, and everyone else said, we can make money by putting in express lanes like we have on the lovely freeways here in Los Angeles.
Great idea.
Terrible idea.
Well, and that's kind of what happened, isn't it?
And the big pitch was, well, the industry can surely self-regulate itself, which, of course, we know how well that's worked in the past.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a court decision about the open internet a couple of years ago that said FCC couldn't enforce how they were trying to enforce it.
Right.
And within 12 hours, Verizon had started throttling its customers that were big data users. I mean, literally within half a day, they were already doing what they said that they were not interested in doing.
Basically slowing down people like Netflix and Google type thing, right? I mean, and that's really...
At points like today, Netflix has a huge product come out today. They are a huge percentage of traffic on the internet today.
House of Cards?
House of Cards.
Correct.
But, all right, so from a personal standpoint, all right, this is what's going on, Doug. They want, the ISPs, the internet service providers, had the ability to say, no, you know something? You're going to do Netflix. We're going to keep it very slow, so it may have to buffer. It may take longer for you to be able to watch your movie in whole. Or we'll give you the ability to pay for a faster internet. Right, Jim? That's kind of what they were looking at.
Yeah, that's pretty much on that side of the coin. That was what was going on there. See, there's two sides here, which is very interesting because conservatives found themselves in a very difficult position of having to agree with President Obama through the first 4 years of his presidency in cases like the NDAA, CISPA, SOPA, PIPA, all these lobby dollars were going to D.C. from the entertainment industry, and President Obama was very much a supporter of the NDAA,
right? All the regulations, all the regulation, right?
Exactly. So with conservative right, all for it too.
I know, but doesn't it make sense that the internet economy has flourished because we haven't had a large, cumbersome government regulation? I mean, it's flourished because it's open, not because the lack of regulation. When companies started to try and throttle it, that's when you start having problems. You start hurting business. You start hurting industry because smaller companies like this crazy little company called Facebook 15 years ago won't be able to get
speed on the internet to grow.
Yeah, but
that thing that has 300 billion members nationwide. I mean, worldwide.
All right, I'm confused. So you're saying if this is implemented, they won't get the speed, or if it's not?
No, net neutrality, which passed yesterday through the FCC, enforces an open internet.
Okay.
So, as of yesterday, it's enforced open internet. Where people don't like it is the how. It became a public utility and will be treated as a public utility, which means, of course, that now there's going to be a government group that is out there looking at how it's going to be run and all that kind of stuff, which, of course, they're already doing anyways.
Well, okay, as a libertarian, how do you justify that? Because you're against, you should be against government as a libertarian, right?
Should be, I think it should be wide open, but the only way that you can guarantee it but that it's wide open is to have people have eyes on it.
But isn't wide open? Hey, if I can make it, suppose we say net neutrality, but somebody comes up with a way to make it faster. Okay, that's not out there yet.
Like happens every single day.
Yeah, but okay, so somebody comes up with a new invention on Tuesday that makes it so much faster. They're not going to be able to make any money on it or sell it to anybody because.
Oh, really? Because nobody's going to buy that, right?
No, everybody would, but they wouldn't be able to because it would have to be everybody would have to have it, right?
Is that the case, Jim?
I mean, is that what we're talking about?
No, the case is that the ISP providers would go buy it, and you pay. I don't know what you pay, but personally, I pay my cable provider $65 a month just for 15 megabits per second. So don't ever for a moment let you think that your ISP provider is not making any money.
Yeah, no, they are. That's
ludicrous.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course.
How much is that hot little smartphone in each of our pocket costing us each month?
John just got a new one.
I just got a new one.
Yeah,
it doesn't cost me anything.
$600 for my little Galaxy and another $200 a month for the service.
All right, so wrap it up for us. This is a good thing, then, right?
It's on the positive side. It's unfortunate that it had to go to the Supreme Court made a decision that said they couldn't use the legal terms that the FCC agreed on in like 2012. But so they had to make it a public utility, which opens it up to FCC. Of course, is going to get their greedy little paws in there. But you can't. I mean, the internet is it's how we communicate. It's how we communicate with the families. How we communicate with our social groups. It's how we get news. It's how the world operates now. And do you want to pay for a fast lane so that you can pay your bills?
Right now, okay. Right now,
do you want to pay? Do you want to pay an express lane fee to your cable provider so you can pay your cable bill each month?
Good point. Good point.
All right, Jim, unfortunately, we're up against the clock. We appreciate you coming on, and I have a feeling this isn't going away real quick, so maybe we have you on again.
Oh, yeah, there'll be the ISPs are already launching lawsuits.
There should be a good, that'll be fun. All right, thanks, Jim. You're listening to Gazette Radio with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clara's hometown station. Hey, when we come back, maybe some hope.
Okay.
All right.
I'm all into that. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on Santa Clara's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS.
It is definitely
I'm out of shape.
It's definitely the drugs. It's definitely the drugs. So we were talking to Robert Patrick Lewis, our national correspondent, and he said, the only hope we really have is the Dodgers. So I figured, hey, what better person to talk about the Dodgers than
Mr. Jellings?
Mr. Jellings, sir.
Can I have a title like national correspondent sometime? I feel
you
like
could be our Dodger correspondent.
Can I get a correspondent on my title?
Sure.
Whatever you want, Kyle.
I appreciate that, guys.
Whatever you want, Mr. Correspondent.
There we go. I like that. Thank you. Yeah.
So, Dodgers, let's see. No back end of the bullpen.
Yep.
No front end of the bullpen. Mm-hmm. Kind of no bullpen.
Yeah, no bullpen.
Really old.
With Kenley Jansen going down.
Really
bullpen.
old.
And the thing was with Kenley Jansen going down, it was kind of like, oh, shucks. But at the same time, the bullpen would never hold to get him in the position to make a save, so it doesn't really affect things at the moment.
As an American League fan and a fan of the Orioles, and even the Giants last year, after their
Did you just say you were a fan of the Giants last year?
No, and even the Giants last year.
Oh, okay. Go.
Their middle relief is really where it was all at.
Oh, absolutely. The Royals, that was, I think, statistically one of the best bullpens in history of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And Buck Showalter had, I can't name a starter on that team anymore. It's all Andrew Miller starting,
Zach Britton.
Yeah.
But in defense of the Dodgers, right, they went in and they're hoping they did something about their middle relief. They brought these guys in. Some of them are unproven.
Some of them are, like,
some of them are
unproven,
injured.
like,
So they're hoping. So it's not like they just stood pat and said,
It
okay.
seems like that's
true.
the
And I
current
think
trend.
and I think what's happening is which kind of upsets me. They're building for trying to be successful for many, 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 many years.
Yeah.
Which, like, as a fan, I'm like,
This
okay,
year, baby.
yeah, that's true.
This year.
I'm okay with that, but at the same time, 1988.
And they didn't get younger in the offseason, did they?
No, and I think that has to do with the long-term plan. Because Jimmy Rollins is a filler for a year. He's not going to be on the Dodgers for he may not be on the Dodgers for 2016. So it's kind of like they're building for the future. They got that Corey Seager kid. They're trying to build up their minor league system,
to Bob Seager?
which it could be. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Look into that for us.
Grandson.
We'll get
You're a
Peter
correspondent. Look into it for us.
Oh no! I have responsibilities with that title.
I get my main concern. Tell me if you agree. You've got in center field Jock Peterson, really unproven. When he came up last year, he couldn't hit a lick.
Okay, but
then you've got Yasiel Puig, who the last 2 months of the season couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
Yeah. So you're concerned about the outfield?
Yeah, the hitting, the offensive.
No, I'm not really concerned about that and the reason for that I'm not concerned about that is because our front office staff are total sabermetric guys, right? So what they do is they find pieces that need to be in there to get what needs to get done.
Are you being facetious or are you serious?
No, I am being serious.
Okay.
Yeah,
serious.
No, they're total sabermetrics.
And it's worked so well for them.
Yeah.
Too thirsty. That may have been a cheap shot.
The Boston Red Sox have been the most successful baseball team since 2004. Maybe the Giants being the other one.
Right.
And they use that model. So it's for the hitting. It is what it is. It's really if you can't stop people in the middle relief from scoring runs, it's not going to matter.
Right.
So that's really where it comes. I think Jock Peterson, from what everybody's saying, and they're smarter than me. At least I hope so. They're saying he's the real deal.
Wouldn't it be terrible if they weren't smarter than you?
I would be upset.
Oh, my goodness.
I've applied there, No, I'm just kidding. But
you're significantly underpaid.
yeah. But they said he is the real deal, and they've got rid of Matt Kemp pretty much because of him.
Are they getting rid of Andre Ethier?
I think
that's
I think why not? I don't see why not. Carl Crawford played very well last year,
but he's injury prone.
And that's the issue. But you still have Scott Van Slyke, who's very productive. This Jock Peterson, hopefully his bat works, and Yasiel Puig is, of course, he's Yasiel Puig. He's kind of a wild card. This is his year, though.
It's got to be.
This is the year where he needs to grow up.
Yeah.
Contract year? Next year's contract year.
Next year's contract year. But that being said, if he's only got 1 year left on his contract, it's easy to trade him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, Kyle, Mr. Station Manager, I assume the Dodgers are on KHTS again this year?
Yeah, we're working on it. Yes, we are working on it.
All right.
We are.
Because we don't want to interrupt the negotiations. Could we help it anyway?
I don't. You personally? You're a lawyer, right?
I could help.
So maybe we can get some legal stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Jillings. As always, a pleasure. All right. Hey, we're done, Doug.
Okay.
Another successful show. Put it in the can.
All right.
All right. You listen to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station. Have a great week.
See ya.